So we are going to talk about motion pictures. I like to call them motion pictures these days because most of it people are consuming online. And that's not, when we talk about television, that's not really television. Is it video? Yeah, kind of it is, but that says specifically how it's been shot. And nowadays we shoot on our phones, we shoot on our, some of us still have cameras, we shoot with a SLR. We don't necessarily shoot with a video camera anymore or a film camera, and all those things connected to media. So I guess we could be talking about a recording, but that could be just the audio. These are motion picture recordings. And every motion picture recording includes three elements, which are the pictures, the moving images, sound, okay, sound effects, music, all those things. I put that into one category. And then the third thing is narration or speaking. And that is the third part. Now I'm going to start with showing you a video that demonstrates the power of storytelling. And this is completely natural. It is just somebody shooting video on their vacation, but it is a story. And it is a story that people really connected to on YouTube. And actually it was, maybe it's been surpassed, but I really doubt it, the most watched nature video on YouTube. And that's saying something. We are talking north of 50 million views. Now I realize for pop music and other things like that, that's not a huge number, but for anybody else and for somebody just posting their vacation videos, that's pretty huge. So let me just show it to you, and I think you'll kind of, I hope you'll kind of get the idea. And let's hope this works pretty well. So we'll share, and I will open it up. Or I think I will. There it is. Okay, so it's kind of low resolution. So I'm not going to open it up too widely, but we'll take a look at it. Tell me if the sound is no good. I don't believe I can mute my speakers myself, so.
Right over there, they're very intently watching the buffalo. Right over there. This could be very interesting. That is a huge buffalo.
That's a huge buffalo.
It's a huge buffalo.
Even the lion.
Oh, they're too young. The one's gone already.
Don't you think they're around that? Is it little?
I don't know. I think they're a bit young. I don't know. Maybe.
They're crouching.
He's quite big.
Is that in attack position? No, I think that's what is that? I can't see. This is
Uh-oh. What's the bull going to do?
Oh my God.
you get the baby.
Oh my God.
She's going for it.
She's going for it. She got him. Oh, she did. She got him.
These gullies just dropped their buffalo here. Did you see that here? Oh my God. Unbelievable. Oh God, I'm shaking. Can you believe this? The buffalo are coming to help this one. Now watch.
They're too
They'll
late.
come and help this baby. Watch.
They're too late. Can they help him now, Frank?
Yeah, they can.
He's still alive, you think?
Ah, it's still alive.
Oh my goodness.
Wrestle for Frank.
They're trying to drag him out. They're dragging him out.
Hulle het nou net 'n kleintjie gevang. Hulle het 'n kleintjie hier so in die water en die krop is besig om nader te kom.
It's on its back. I have to kill it quickly.
Oh, it's so alive.
Ja, positief. Hulle het 'n klein buffeltjie gevang hier so.
There's a crocodile there too.
Ja, daar's 'n krokodil ook. Daar kruip 'n krokodil op die kleintjie. Yes.
Crocodile.
Ja, check through the barn. There's a croc's trying to grab the baby.
Yes. Oh, good gracious.
Look at this. The crocodile's taking the baby away.
Oh my God. They're two crocodiles.
They're going to lose it.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
they're going to fight over it.
She's like, shit.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's huge crocodile. Oh, look at this.
The lions have won.
The lions have won?
Oh, the lions have won.
Yeah, look at all those buffalo coming.
No, they're going to come and try and chase the lion, but I think they're too late.
I think you're right. They're way too late now.
No, we're going to chase them. Come on.
No, they're too late.
Oh, look at the teeth.
They're going to chase the teeth.
You're too late. You're too late.
You guys, you cannot believe what's going on here. There's a big terrier between lions, crocodiles, and buffaloes.
Whoa. He swatted at him, he kicked at him. He's kicking at him, look. He's kicking at him.
Ja, julle gaan sien wat die aangaan. Die buffels is besig om die weeuws te omsing. Want die weeuws het 'n klein jatjie gevang. En hierdie jatjies wil die weeuws nou bykom, want dit self die weeuws links en regs.
Ooh, they got him surrounded.
Ja, jy kan maar kom ja.
And that one's.
Ooh.
Ooh. Chasing the boy. Chasing. Where are you going to
You got the lion on it, right?
That little buffalo is still alive. Yes.
Never seen that.
I've never seen anyone.
The calf's still alive.
It is?
Yeah, it's trying to get away. It's standing up.
It's got him back.
I do have him back.
Hierdie buffels het die weeuws weggevat van haar kleintjie af.
I'm still chasing.
Oh, check. I've never seen him come.
There's two left.
Gee, they chased him away.
If they hook the one, did you see that?
That's the one.
Oh, run.
deers that lies in it. You see that? But you see that one like further on in the air.
Yes.
Should these small having to the.
Yeah, I got him being thrown in the air.
Not easily, like playing nothing, ze willen verrichten. Die komt gewoon eens lekker, ja. Ongelukkig. Hey, this little creature must be more than 100.
Yes.
I mean, you need this like 10.
And he's easy coming back. He's phenomenal, the slime.
But he's stupid, he's young.
Doesn't know when he's grown up. Where's the little one?
I have never seen anything like this. Really, never seen anything like this. I mean, I've seen it on video and on movies. But how's this?
Oh, you can stop that video.
Yeah, probably. Should done.
Yeah.
So the question you need to ask yourself is, who's actually king of the jungle? Yeah? Did anybody like that? You can respond in the, yeah. Because the moral of the story is, you don't mess with buffalo. These are not Asian buffalo. These are African buffaloes. Now, I've been to the Kruger Park. This is in the Kruger Park in South Africa. I've been to the Kruger Park, gosh, maybe 10 times. Never seen anything like this. But what happens here, it plays out in nature. And the reason I think you were engaged in it, because I certainly was, and even though I've watched it lots and lots of times, I love it every time I watch it, is it is a great story. You think you know what's going to happen, and it doesn't. It happens differently. The people watching, the guy shooting it, thinks he knows what's going to happen. The guide, who's the guy who's in speaking Afrikaans and English to the tourists, some British, some American, it's American guy shooting it. Everybody is providing the verbal part, the narration. We even have the sound effects of, you can, occasionally there's like a little roar and you can hear the buffaloes, you can hear the buffaloes making their sounds that they're making. So it's natural sound. There's lots of talking over it. And you think you understand exactly how it goes, and the crocodiles show up. When the crocodiles show up and the lion pulls the baby away, then they've set the lions up, because now the lions aren't near the water and the buffaloes can do what they do, which is run at you super fast and clop you with their head. But the video, from a shooting point of view, it's pretty low resolution. It is not great by any video standards, but the story is so powerful that people want to watch it. Actually, let me go just for a second to YouTube, and we can look at it for a second, and we can just do, okay, we can go to my thing here. We can do Battle at Kruger. Because they did sell it, and there was it was on regular television. It is up to 86 million views. It's from 13 years ago. So actually, I even showed it in Hong Kong. 86 million people have watched that, and it's based on story. And there's some other ones here, but none of them match this. Here's somebody who stole it. The City Dog, and those don't have near the views of the original. And there's a bunch of Aussie men in Moza. Okay, and I'm not the Russell he's talking to on the radio, just to affirm, but it does make me connect a little bit. So the reason I showed that to you is to show you what makes a story. And what a story needs is progression. It needs potential surprises. You know, really great movies, you don't know exactly what to expect. Sometimes it's the journey, but this is just an amazing piece that shows storytelling, and it's completely natural. So great stories happen around us, and we just need to be aware of them. So this phenomenal thing, Battle at Kruger. And what I want to show you is that that is what you need to do in an advertisement. That's what you need to do when you're using motion pictures. And even in that one, you have these different, excuse me, you have the guide who's like sort of constantly narrating in English and Afrikaans. And if you understand, I know I'm the only person in the room who speaks Afrikaans, but it's great what he's describing. He's describing on the radio to other guides and stuff, hey, you got to come over here. And even when one person starts their car, they're clearly not looking at what's going on. Because when you start your car, it might disturb the animals and what happens, and it could have screwed up the whole thing. And why the heck would you leave in the middle of this? Because this is epic. This is epic winter action at Kruger. So I hope that communicated. I hope everybody kind of gets that, because by the end, you're like, what? Okay, what just happened? And what happens when you say that is you want to watch the story again. There's perhaps a chance that you will show it to your friends and family. This thing has shareability, viral ability. When it first came out, it was already in to like 50 million, but 12 years ago, 13 years ago. And Discovery Channel did pay them for it. And they used it in a documentary, or they built a whole show around it because it's that good. And they probably technologically improved the video. If you think 13 years ago, we didn't have near the video quality or the technology that we have now. If you could be in a place like this and do this with better video, it still wouldn't be better, because it's just an awesome story. So with that in mind, I'm going to show you again my favorite, okay, what is that going on here? Sorry, just a second. What? Okay, if that's what it's going to make me do. I'm going to show you. No? Okay, I'm going to have no idea why this is not working now. I'm going to show you my favorite commercial of all time, which I've shown you before, but I'm going to show you again. I hope I'm going to show you again. Okay, so let's close this one. Let's watch this, and I'm going to break it down a little bit for you, but this is a large reason that I totally love this video. Okay, that's just weird. Let's do that. Is because it is a perfect combination of sound, spoken word, and moving pictures. Okay, and then so we'll watch it again, and some of you, I would guess, does anybody know which commercial this is? My favorite commercial. Does anybody remember? Okay, so Maha's the only person speaking to me. Thank you, Maha. Okay, so you'll know in a minute. And see, if I tell you, it's kind of like that with Buffalo throwing lions in the air. Okay, it's that moment, but it's only a minute and 30. Okay, it is Super Bowl, yes.
The world is full of giants. They have always been here, lumbering in the schoolyards, limping through the alleys. We had to learn how to deal with them, how to overcome them. We were small, but fast. Remember? We were like a wind appearing out of nowhere. We knew that being clever was more important than being the biggest kid in the neighborhood. As long as we keep our heads down, as long as we work hard, trust what we feel in our guts, our hearts. Then we're ready. We wait until they get sleepy. Wait until they get so big they can barely move. Then we walk out of the shadows, quietly walk out of the dark, and strike.
Okay, that is the first time we see the word Maserati, even though we hear it in the car, even though we see the Trident logo on the car, and they never verbally say Maserati. Okay, that is this particular commercial that you can find on YouTube is so well written. It tells a story, it tells a surprising story and has a surprising end. And it is beautifully made. And what it also shows is a lot of these shots don't adhere to a lot of the classic strict rules of how you shoot video, but that's the power of sound. That's the power of the video that Battle of Kruger shows us. Battle of Kruger shows us that the video doesn't have to be perfect if the story is strong, if the story is good, and the spoken word. And I'm gonna break this down for you a little bit. Okay, so each one of these, that's a shot. That's a shot. That's a shot. That's a shot. So I call each one of these, they're individual shots. And so actually we talked about shots already when we did image composition, because a shot is an image. Sorry, okay. A shot is actually a moving image, but it's one composition, it's one piece of action. So a shot is connected video where the shot doesn't change. So at the heart of it is an image. So if we went back to those, we've got the vector of his eyes looking down, we've got all the parts of an image, but then a shot means that image has motion added to it. Okay, and then what happens beyond that is that the shots are connected together, and when they're directly connected, they create a sequence, and then when all the sequences are put together, they create a story. So in essence, what we watched in Battle of Kruger was one shot. Okay, there were lots of different compositions that happened and the camera moved around, but it was one shot. It does look like there were the guy maybe wasn't thinking, or he was afraid his battery was going to run out, so he reloaded, so there was kind of a stop. So maybe, it's a total of 2 shots, but this is a whole lot of shots. Okay, and so the rules that are broke, if we look at first, okay, we have the wave, that's a shot, and it is a wide shot. It relates to what's said, but it's not directly related. It's exemplifying, it's amplifying. And though it's more technical, the first 3 shots are actually a montage, okay? Which means it is not a sequence as such, but the sequence is a montage rather than continuity. It's not connected action. So it's connected ideas, and that's a montage. So she's talking about monsters. So that's like virtually supposed to be like a tidal wave, but it's probably just a big wave day in Portugal, where they have monster waves every year because the storms on the Atlantic, never mind. Okay, then we go to another monster, which is a tornado. So that's, a big looming, scary thing. And they're very powerful. They all represent power. Then we have the shadow coming over. We don't have a lot of context for that. And then we have also a shadow coming over. It's interesting because in this particular piece, most of the things that are connected together are 2 shots. Now I'm a 3-shot. I'm 3-shot obsessed myself. But so you have 2 shots of the montage. You have 2 shots of the shadow. Then we go to her, and this is a close-up. Those were both wides. Now it's a close-up. It's establishing the character. We now see who the narrator is, even though she's not directly talking. So her eyes look up, and this is really a montage because these are separate actions, but they all include her. So we look, and she's small, so that could be what she's looking at, but then she's in the shot, and there she is in the shot, so we see her. Then she's looking at herself. So this is also montage, not continuity. Then it changes, and we start seeing other images of us, of the smaller people she's talking about, working people. So we have a firefighter. Okay, we start out with a fire. Then we see the firefighter. So that's 2 shots, and that's a sequence. Next, okay, sorry. Actually, it's 3 shots, sorry. So 1, 2, 3 shots. Then we switch to sort of the drone shot, looking at the giants, looking down at the road. I mean, at this point, we don't even know what this commercial is about. There's nothing that is telling us it's about cars or anything else. So we've got another wide shot of a city, and then her coming out of the house. So that's just a single shot that transitions us from the person back to our narrator. And then she's running, she comes down the stairs. That's breaking the rules a little bit, but that's continuity. Her coming down the stairs, and then she's at the bottom of the stairs. And then she says, we were small. So those are small birds flying together. Okay, we were small but powerful. So there she's moving fast, the bicycle's moving, and we see those birds again. So we're interconnecting. We've had this cutaway to this kind of medium shot of birds, and now we have a wide shot, and it shows them moving strongly and collectively, etc. And then we cut back to her. She's not on the bike anymore. So now this is a new sequence, 2 shots of her in the sequence. Then she switches. She talks about being smart and being those things. And we have, I think it's 2 shots. We have the architect who's designing, okay? And there's the architect who's designing. And you also have to realize this is a completely diverse commercial from 2014. It is not just white people. It is not just people from one place. They are saying whatever we're advertising is for everybody. Okay, so then you go to the ballerina. So it's, whoops, I'm missing that first shot of her. What happened? Okay, all right, that is the first shot. So we see her. If we know these things, we can see she's a ballerina. Then we see confirmation, looking at her putting on the shoes. Those 2 actions don't go together. Then we see this one goes directly with that. So it's 3 shots. Then we come back to our narrator just for a minute, sort of re-centering ourselves. Then we go to a guy who's working in a steel mill, actually a couple guys, and they're working together, shaping that shape that actually interesting kind of looks like a key. So maybe it's supposed to be a hint, but they're working with molten metal. This is really hard, tough work for individuals. Then we head out on a ship. It kind of feels Abu Dhabi when we look at the Abu Dhabi stuff in a minute. So this is fishermen, this is guys out on a boat. So from the heat to being on the sea, okay, then a guy working on a motor. So we're starting to get more clues what this might be about. And that is these 2 pieces. Okay, that's welding. So it's a little different. And that's just another shot that's related to the welding and the flying sparks. And then we get this moment, this break, and we see her, and they're going into the final statement. And she's talking, it's her, and it's like she's looking, and she's talking about the monsters, and we wait till they're so big and they're so ineffectual that they've essentially fallen asleep. So we've gone back to that big city thing, then we go dark again, and we see the welder, so that's connected. So the welder, the ballerina, the girl, and she whispers, and we strike. And then we hear the growl. We hear the animal that's going to strike. And then it goes black. And here, the sound takes over the whole thing, and it grabs us. And if we care about cars, we know what that sound is. It's actually completely, only one car makes that sound. And that's part of my obsession with it. And then we go into seeing it, the light comes on, we see the trident. If we know the trident, we know what this is about. If we don't, it's like, wow, this is like a mystery car. Then it takes off, and we have these shots. These are shots in sequence. They could all be connected, the same thing happening. And when the car revs, it growls. And there's the car, it's speed, it's a little blurry, it's dark, but we get the essential shape of the car. And then we go to black, and no speaking, just we have prepared, now we strike. And then we see it's Ghibli, and then we see Maserati, the absolute opposite of ordinary. So they show us the slogan. So I'm going to show it to you again, and then I'm going to move on to some other videos. But what I just did was I deconstructed that for you. I took apart the pieces. Okay, and I'm going to show you doing that, but let me just show you the commercial now intact, so you get a feeling for it. I hope we'll run it.
The world is full of giants.
Dragons, sorry.
They have always been here, lumbering in the schoolyards,
Bullies.
limping through the alleys. We had to learn how to deal with them, how to overcome them. We were small, but fast. Remember? We were like a wind appearing out of nowhere. We knew that being clever was more important than being the biggest kid in the neighborhood. As long as we keep our heads down, as long as we work hard, trust what we feel in our guts, our hearts, then we're ready. We wait until they get sleepy. Wait until they get so big they can barely move. Then we walk out of the shadows, quietly walk out of the dark, and strike.
Okay, I don't anticipate you're going to achieve that kind of perfection. I mean, even to the point that the car's coming out of the dark. The lights are on. I mean, every element of this thing matches. I don't know that this increased their sales in the US, but it definitely increased awareness. I haven't seen that kind of data, but it is actually an expensive car, even the Ghibli, which is a smaller model. So it would be interesting. They haven't come back to the Super Bowl, but it would really be interesting to know what the impact of this is. Now, that's the one I'm breaking down because I love it so much, but there's some other videos I love quite a bit. And that is, and I believe they're all connected. And these are three videos from the UAE. The first two are Abu Dhabi videos specifically. And the first one, I believe, is the ancestor of the other two. It's from 2010. It won advertising awards and all kinds of things. And it does a lot of the things I just said about not being strictly to the rules. Some of the shots, you're kind of like, why? But when you see it as a connected whole, it makes sense. The narration is fantastic. I love the voice that does it. I love how it connects to the images and the words. The words that are said are words that are now a pretty significant part of UAE identity. And actually, it is huge in that way. The whole thing of making the impossible possible. This spot from 2010 says the same thing, but says it in, gosh, a much better way, in my opinion. Okay, so I'll let it speak for itself, and then we'll look back at it for a minute. I don't have enough time to break it down like the other one, but I want to, okay, just play it for you.
Be still, so you may hear the dreams of the people below. Pay no attention to the impossible, they whisper, for he does not belong here. As the road rises, you find the land, majestic, calm. The space, the air, the breeze, the buzz, the thrill, and the back of beyond. Engaging, refuge, home, inviting, but no foreboding. The beast's heart will pound beside ours. As night crackles electric, a million promises are held. Day rewards night with a perfect dawn, and dawn rewards in turn. And nature rewards an inquisitive mind. In a land where the impossible is defined and ignored.
Okay, anybody feel any pride when you watch that? Okay. Okay, so the writing is amazing. The beat, the buzz, the boat, and I love the guy's accent. It's mostly driven by music, okay? But it's brilliant. It talks about the impossible idea in such a beautiful way. And I really love his voice. I don't like Traveler's Welcome. I love Your Extraordinary Story, but we've moved past that. This spot for me actually makes Traveler's Welcome a little more acceptable, but I could tell you all the reasons why not. It's a little too generic for me, but that sort of establishes the musical style, the visual style. And I wish they'd kept this same guy for 7 years later, but this is now Your Extraordinary Story. And so this is now widescreen from 2017. And actually for a couple of papers I've done, academic papers, I broke down this advertisement and discussed what it shows, what it conceptualizes, a bunch of things like that. So I know this commercial too well. And the other ones I know from just watching over and over again, and the fact that I love them visually. But this one is also right there. The only thing would be the other guy's voice. Because this is a Canadian guy and it doesn't have the same sort of grit to it that I really love about that. But this is stunning as well. And if this one doesn't make you feel proud, you don't love Abu Dhabi. Okay, that's just my feeling. So.
The story is centuries deep and endless like the desert, where it opens like a mirage, unlikely unbelievable at first. It starts with the vision of wise men who take the sand, the sea, the sun, and weave a masterpiece they call home. They build forts against time, monuments for faith, for the future, where they fill the air with songs of joy, where they can welcome the world and all its creations. They venture on journeys full of twists and turns, towering heights and dizzying drops, to treasures of awe, of beauty, passed down for generations, waiting for you to arrive. Abu Dhabi, your extraordinary story.
Anybody feel good now? Okay, I hope you do. But I think you can see stylistically, it has a lot of the same feel. The voice is different. This is actually such a brilliant piece of editing. And it is, the sequences are much longer. So you have shots that connect, and the way they connect the shots is beyond pure genius. I need to check something. I need to see how long we go. Sorry. Okay. Don't be slow now. Okay, so let's go. Here we go. All right, so this is, okay, to 12:25. Okay, so I've got time, great. Okay. All right, so what I want to show you with this is that just some of the ideas in the edits, okay, are just totally brilliant. I mean, you have these connected shots, the first three shots connected with the people, and then we go to this woman kind of looking out, but then we cut back to the people at the archaeological site. I'm trying to think if it's Al-Hili is what it's called, the ancient tombs in Al Ain. And so we see that these shots are connected together. Actually, the Arabic version of this is edited differently, and the words are different. So it has a lot of the same elements, but it has different elements. It has more family elements. It has more staying elements. It's a little bit different. So this is definitely in English, directed at a specific audience. So then we have the horse hooves, which is a nice kind of a close-up that allows the edit away from Alain. Then we see the guy shooting a picture as though that's his image that he's shooting. We come back, we have a wide shot of the horses. Great, that is a great sequence. Okay, that's cut together very well. And then from that speed, we have the kids making airplanes. Okay, and from that, oh gosh, they're still in the shot here. And then we see a shadow of an airplane over the dunes, so a special effect, but it's connecting the boys and the airplane and flight. And then where do we go? We go inside the airplane. So it takes us inside without ever saying it. We get an Etihad moment, and then we see the young people looking from the, oh, okay, they're up on Qasr al-Hosn. That's where they are. Okay, so because there's the tower, and they're looking at the city. They're looking toward the World Trade Center over here, and they're looking out on the place. Okay, and then it's a fairly long shot, and then it's wise men. So we switch from the city. We're back in Al Ain again to the oasis and the water, and we cut, okay, so this is an oasis shot, or at least the date palm plantation with the light coming through, and then it connects it directly to the Louvre, which actually wasn't finished at the time when this was made, but we see the Louvre, which that is intended to be an homage to the palms and the light coming through it. Okay, and there we see it in its fullness. And if you've been to the Louvre, there's no open views like that, so you know it's not. And then we go to the people of what we call home. We go back to the oasis, cross over, and then it's the different things, building forts against time. Okay, sorry. Building forts against time. And then monuments to faith. And then the future, so we have young people and they're having a good time. And then we connect together back in Khalifa City by Aldar HQ, and the paintings on the wall. Then we go to Sirbani Yas, and in nature, we go to the mangroves, 2 shots. We go to a desert safari, then we go to Yas Island, okay? And just that cool sequence to there. We go from race car to roller coaster to water slide, fully Yas. Then we're in the water. So we go out to pearl diving. We go to the pearl coming out of the oyster, and then the pearl around the woman's neck. It's very subtle, but there it is. Then we have a wide shot of her walking into a beautiful hotel, and that is clearly her. We cut from there, walking in motion to Sheikh Zayed Bridge. We're in a car. So if the motion goes in the opposite direction, which makes it a great edit, then we're going forward. Then we get a wide shot of seeing the bridge and the airport taxi. Then we get this shot that's going the other way of the woman in the car looking, and actually those are the lights on the bridge. And even though this is a rule breaking edit, it's still keeping us in that moment. And then we cut from her looking to the man looking, and actually that's a bridge of some kind over there, but he's looking, there it is, he's on the boat, and we just get a hint at it, and we go motion to motion, foreigners on the boat. And then even though it switches tonight, we're still on the boat. So the water's moving. We get the Dow come across Abu Dhabi. You're extraordinary. It is just a beautiful piece. Okay. And I'm one of those people that can always find criticism and things like that. So a very beautiful piece of video that's structured. And once again, I've deconstructed it for you. And now I'm going to show you the latest one, which if you haven't seen it, you need to get onto this. This is the year of the 50th. Has elements, but it's got a very different message. This is for the whole UAE, and it's in Arabic with subtitles. The subtitles are fantastic because they're in a very raw form. They're not like perfect letters. They're not perfect sans serif, geometric, or even humanist. They're raw. They're kind of rough and ragged, which goes with the style, the visual style, and you can sort of hear some of the same sounds. Okay.
عيالي الغاليين، شو تشوفون؟ أعرف إن الوقت تغير وإنكم تفكرون في مستقبلكم. تبون تعرفون أنا شو أشوف؟ أشوفكم أنتم، أشوفكم تبنون بيدينكم ولا شيء. البذور اللي زرعتوها والثمار اللي جنيتوها. أشوفكم وأنتم توحدون الناس وتجمعون الكل، الصغير والكبير. كل المخاطر اللي خضتوها ألهمت كل الناس اللي حولكم. شفتوا كم أنجزتوا؟ يمكن المستقبل مو واضح الحين، لكن أنا بخبركم شيء، بوجودكم المستقبل بخير، وهذا وقتكم أنتم، وقتكم تتأملون في الماضي وتخططون لمستقبلكم وتحققون أهدافكم وتدارون على بعض، لأن هذه بلادكم كلكم. تمسكوا في ذكرياتكم وورثوها حق عيالكم وعيال عيالكم، وصدقوا ما في حد في هالدنيا تخيل جمال هذه الذكريات. وأنا أنتظركم بفارغ الصبر لجل تشوفون هالشي بنفسكم. بوجودكم كلكم تنبض في الحياة. مع تحياتي، بلادكم 2071.
Okay, so this is the video I am going to invite you to deconstruct, to get to know very, very well. It has an authenticity. It is more people focused. Okay, and I've got, this is actually on the discussion board itself. Okay, so the video is there for you to look at it, to download it. Okay. Okay, so you can download it right off of there. And then you're going to take the shots and look at them. I have, oh, wait a minute. I've forgotten one element. I need to add one more element because it will give you some explanation on different kinds of shots, wide, medium, close up kind of thing. So I'll put that there. But what you're going to do is you are going to create a storyboard. So I'm going to go back to that. Storyboard deconstruction. So here's the example from, I'm not going to show you the commercial, but this is an Emirates Airlines commercial with Jennifer Aniston. So there's the example. Okay, so there's a shot, the shot changes to there. You could find this on YouTube if you want, but this is like a huge file because of the video in it. Okay, then this shot cuts to that shot, to the people there. Okay, I'm gonna have to show it to you. And it's a deconstruction of every time the shot changes. Okay, the singular shot, then you grab a frame and you put it into this storyboard, which is in PDF and also in Word format in DocX. And you could take the PDF into Illustrator and stick these images on, so you'll be able to grab them, because in QuickTime Video, all you have to do is like this picture. You just do edit copy. Okay, I don't understand that. Wait, now it's gonna give me a hard time. Okay, so I just copied it in, and then if I went to Illustrate, well, let's just go to Word. So here's, I think, a copy of it should be here. Okay, okay. Okay, and then what I could do is I just do paste. I make it much smaller. It's kind of, okay. I can go into styles. Wait, this is much easier to do in Illustrator. Okay, but you'll make it smaller and you'll put it within that square. Here, I'll grab this corner now. That'll help me do it. Okay. Okay, so it's And what I'd want to do is take that and do wrap text, and I do it in front of text, and then I can grab that. Now it's not going to let me do it. So I can go to okay. Now I could do size there. Just curious. All right. So what I could do rather is take this. I could open up. All right. I could open up preview. And there it is. Well, I don't know why it's down there. I can. There it is. Actually, it opened it on the that picture that's in the clipboard. I can say, I can do Command L. I can save it. Okay. Shot one. I'm going to leave it where it is. I'm actually going to close it and reopen it. So there it is. And delete. And I can, I think, oh, there we go. I do Command All, Command C, and then when I go Command V here, it's in the right angle. And there we go. Then I can, I'm doing right click, wrap text in front of text, so it's not bothering that. And there it is. I've put it in. Okay. And then there's like in this one, with Jennifer Aniston on the first page, I've put, that's where you put those in. For some reason, it gave it to me sideways. I'm going to see if I can work that out and hand it to you and put it on that discussion board. I'm also going to show you on the discussion board, I'm going to show you this one because you're going to be doing the first 12 frames, the first 12 images. So I'm also going to put this in there, and this shows you types of shots. So we've got extreme long shot, medium shot, close up, tight, extreme close up. So you at least get some names for the shots. So I'll have that there as well. And I want you to do this over the weekend. I want it to be done before class comes back. It's individual, and this is helping you understand storyboards and how if you take apart commercials that are quite successful, this is a good way to understand how that motion picture spot was made, moving picture spot was made. And so you can know how to do a storyboard. When you do your storyboard, it can be photographs, it can be drawings. It doesn't have to be super spectacular, perfect. It just has to enable me to see the story. But I do need to change. I do need to fix this this Word file and repost it. But that's what we're doing now. I hope you appreciate something about motion picture. I realize we don't have nearly enough time, and unfortunately, we probably don't have enough experience. But this is the one way I can get you into it quickly and understanding it a little bit and develop from there. So I'm sure you'll have questions and you'll post them on the WhatsApp group, or and then I can answer for everybody. But make this kind of fun, get you into the 50th mood a little more completely. Let's all get more positive and we can go from there. So that's what I have. Don't worry about attendance. Didn't have time to do it, so we'll take care of that. And that's it for today. Thank you very much. Have a great day.